Hi everybody, Jordan Blotcher here, aka the Sports Card Lawyer, back again with another video. And for this video, we're going to be talking about a player who is completely elite. He is at the absolute top of his profession, and it's not going to be a quarterback. It's going to be Cooper Kupp of the LA Rams, and more specifically, we're going to be looking at his 2017 Prism Silver PSA 10. Now, before I start talking about this card and about why it's such a great buy, the first thing that I wanted to do is clarify that when you are investing and looking to grow the value of your collection, you do not need to only buy quarterbacks if you are specializing in NFL cards. Um, the quarterbacks like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert and Tom Brady, those are the most highly liquid cards in the football trade, and so that's why you see so much coverage of them. Everybody loves buying quarterbacks. They show the greatest variance and ups and downs over the course of the season. They're the most fun. They can be the most gambly depending on what's going on, but we should also consider sort of like what we do in fantasy, where if you're looking at buying a quarterback because you think that that quarterback is going to excel, you should also perhaps considering pairing that quarterback with their number one wide receiver option, because if the quarterback is doing well, then the wide receiver number one is also going to be doing extremely good as well. And so the point I wanted to make in this video is that buying opportunities emerge for players that are not quarterbacks. Really great receivers, for example, are players who, when a bargain emerges, we should be looking to get our hands on. And so with that being said, I wanted to take a look at this card. So we're going to do our usual analysis for it. The first thing you should see when you look at this card over the course of a year is that it has an upward sloping trend line. That should not be a surprise to anyone given what Cooper Kupp did last year, and had an absolutely incredible season, wins Super Bowl MVP. You can see the very large spike in this card that happened right around the Super Bowl. I mean, we had a sale at $650, which is extremely high for a Prism Silver PSA 10 of a non-quarterback. That would be relatively low for obviously like a Patrick Mahomes type of card in Prism Silver PSA 10. Same year actually as Patrick Mahomes, 2017. But for a wide receiver, $650 is an absolutely massive price to pay for a Prism Silver. And so naturally we were going to see some correction on this card in the offseason. And you can see that correct it did, all the way down to its last sale at $200. We have another one at $205 here. But when you look back at where the card was trading before Cooper Kupp had this legendary season last year, I mean, it was a $160 card, and now it's all the way back down at $200. So that's to say that after everything he accomplished last year, and after everything that we expect he's going to accomplish again this year, with Matt Stafford being even more comfortable in the Rams system in his second year as quarterback for the Rams, the card is still only trading about 25% higher than where it was trading in October of last year. And as you can see, because it's trading at $200 and because it has crashed so much in the offseason, it is trading dramatically below its trend line. This trend line right here is probably at about $360. Appears to be where that trend line is at currently. And it last sold for $200. So if we do our basic math, we do 200 divided by 360, we multiply it by 100, and we see that the card is trading at 55.55% of its year-long trend line. Now, is this card going to rise back to this trend line? It's hard to say because of how upward sloping the trend line is. If Cooper Kupp comes out and he's not off to a start that looks like he's going to, catch for 2,000 yards this year, then it might not be able to realize the full value of this trend line. However, we do recognize that this card is dramatically undervalued relative to where its trend line is today. So if you are able to acquire this card at $200, you're getting it at 55.5% of its trend line. If we are able to release this card at trend line and the card does revert back to its mean over the course of the last 12 months, then we should be able to realize at least a 35% ROI on this card, if not a little bit higher. even if it never returns to its trend line, trading at 55% like it is right now is just such a great buy. I mean, it's very unlikely you're going to lose much buying this card, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity for gain just because of how far below its trend line is trading. A lot of the cards that I recommend on this video series and on my channel are trading at somewhere between 70 and 75% of their trend line. This one is way below that at 55%. And so even though this isn't a quarterback, and even though it's not the most liquid card in the world, we can still see that there have been a lot of sales of this card on eBay over the last year. It's not like there's only 1 or 2 sales going on here. You're not going to be stuck holding the bag with this card for a very long period of time. There will be buyers for Cooper Kupp over the course of the season. And so if we think that he's going to come out and still have a good year, which by all estimates he's still going to receive for at least 1,400 yards. He's still expected to catch for at least 8 touchdowns. I think that this card is an absolutely incredible buy, and it's an affordable buy too. I mean, you could get your hands on probably multiple of these at around the $200 per card price point, and you can achieve hopefully a 30 to 40% ROI on every single one that you buy in the medium term. So this is a buy that I would not sleep on. In the last couple weeks of the offseason, I would look to get my hands on as many of them as I can at the $200 price point, and that has been my budget pick of the day for you guys. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and I'm looking forward to making more content for you very soon. Thank you for tuning in.